Hi there, kids. Mrs. Boyd coming at you with all things circles and circumference. Let's get right into it. We're going to talk first about the parts of a circle. So let's go ahead and start out. Obviously, this excuse me, big red bullseye right in the center. That's exactly what that is. The center. That's the point. Equidistant from each point on the circle. So center, that's what that is. Next, we have this lovely dashed green line right here. You might be able to guess what this is called. It's the radius. It's this segment from the center to a point on the circle. So from the center to the outside of the circle is what the radius is. Next, we'll look at this crazy purple dashed line and know that this is called the diameter. The diameter is the segment that passes through the center, connecting 2 points on the circle. So it goes through the center and connects that point with that one on the other side. Last definition here, last part that you may not have heard of before is called, it's this blue dashed Morse code looking line, and it's called a chord. A chord is a segment connecting 2 points on the circle. So a diameter is a chord. It's just a specific kind of chord that goes through the center. So as long as it connects any 2 points on the circle, it's a chord. So let's use those ideas and find out some info about this circle right here. Well, first, we want to name the circle. When we name a circle, we draw a little bullseye, a circle with a dot in the center. That's the symbol for circle. So now we know angle, we know triangle, we know congruent, now we know circle. So we do the little bullseye, and then we name whatever point is in the center of the circle. That's the name. So this is circle A. So we say circle A. The name of the circle is always capital, so circle with a capital A. Name the radii. There's a couple of radii that we can name here. Pause here and name one. All right, so you probably named segment AD because that looks like a radius, because it is. We can also say that it's segment AC, it's segment AB, it's segment AF, and segment AE. So those are all radii, anything that goes from the center of the circle to the outside. Name the diameter. Pause here. Tell me what it is. The diameter is segment BE. Goes through the center, connects the other 2 sides of the circle. There's one more, segment CF, also a diameter. Through the center, that's also a chord. Name the chords is the next one. Pause here and name at least one. All right, so chords, connect any 2 points on the circle. We've got 3 chords. Segment BE is a chord and a diameter. Segment CF is a chord and a diameter. Last one, segment GC is a chord, but not a diameter. All right, if BE is 16, find AE. So if BE is 16, that means the diameter is 16. That means to find the AE, which is the radius, we do 16 over 2. That's 8. Next one, if AX equals 5, find AD. Pause here and see what you can find out. So if AF is 5 and it's a radius, AD is also 5 because it's also a radius. If AE is 7, find CF. See what you can do. So if AE is 7, that means the radius is 7. That means AF is also 7. That means CA is also 7. So that tells us CF is 14. Last but not least, does GC equal CF? Let's see. GC is this chord right here. And CF is also a chord, but instead it's a diameter. So I can say that no, GC does not equal CF because a chord, this is going to be long, a chord that does not go through the center is shorter than a diameter. Right? So GC is going to be shorter than CF. It's all of the parts of a circle that you'll want to know. Now let's flip your paper over and get to some, whoopsie, computations. All right, flip it over. Scoot mine up. All right, looking at circumference. So we've got some equations for circumference. We have 2 pi d. We say you can use a formula when given the diameter. That one includes the diameter. C equals pi d. So for this circle, we have the circumference is pi times the diameter is 3. So our circumference is 3 pi centimeters. We can use circumference equals 2 pi r when we use this one. When we're given the radius. Circumference equals 2 pi r. So if we have a different circle here with the radius is 3 centimeters, we say the circumference is 2 times pi times 3. So our circumference is 6 pi centimeters. You can choose to just remember one of these equations and just know that the radius is half the diameter, and that's really all you need to know. So we've got a circumference with the diameter here. So the circumference is pi d. So that's pi times 6. So your circumference is 6 pi centimeters. If we take pi as 3.14, that means our circumference is about 18.8 centimeters. I don't know if this is another symbol that you've seen. The little squiggly equals means about, around, circa, one of those things. Here we have an equation or a circle where we're given the radius. So we're going to do C equals 2 pi r. So 2 pi and then r is 5. So our circumference is 10 pi centimeters. That means it is about 31.4 centimeters or so. Last but not least, we want to find the diameter and radius to the nearest tenth. We are given the circumference is 100 inches. So that means our circumference is, we want to find the diameter, it's pi d. That means 100 is pi d. We divide both sides by pi, or 3.14. We're left with d. And d in this case is 31.8. So that's the inches, is the radius, or the diameter of our circle with the circumference of 100. And that means the radius, to find that, is the diameter divided by 2. So our radius is around 15.9 inches. It's pretty much all the same way. Pause and try and find the next one on your own, please. All right, so we've got 50 inches. That means 50 is pi d. Divide both sides by pi. And I get the diameter is 15.9 inches. And if I divide that by 2, I get the radius is about 8.0 inches. Pause and try the next one. Circumference is 25. That means 25 equals pi d. Divide both sides by that 3.14, and the diameter is about 8 inches. If I divide that by 2, I get the radius is about 4 inches. Pause and try the last one. Circumference is 314, so 314 is 2. I did it backwards, dang it. Let's reverse here. 314 is pi d, so you divide both sides by pi, and the diameter is about 100 inches. I divide that by 2, and I get the radius is about 50 inches. I hope this makes all sorts of sense to you. I hope you're doing amazing. Please reach out if you have any problems. I hope to see you soon.